Hey everyone, it's Lauren. Welcome or welcome back. Today I'm doing a video all about skin tints. I'm letting you know which ones I think are the best, which ones I think are not the best, and who I think they would be best for, if anyone. So that's kind of the gist of today's video. I'm using a skin tint as somewhat of an umbrella term to capture like tinted moisturizers, tinted hydrators, BB cream, CC cream, really just those lighter kind of foundation type products that are just going to be more lightweight, a little bit more lighter coverage that I feel like people have been just really digging right now. So that's what we're going to talk about. I'm hoping that no matter what your budget is, your preference, your skin type, no matter what kind of factors you're considering, I'm hoping that this video helps you to find whatever tinted moisturizer or skin tint will best suit you. So before we get started, I do just want to say that I'll have all these products that I mentioned today linked down below in the description. If you want to check them out, just know that any link that has a star beside of it is an affiliate link, which just means that if you purchase a product using the link, I can make a commission off of your purchase. It won't be any extra cost to you, but I like to always just, make that clear at the start of all my videos. If you want to check out any of my other best and worst videos, I'll have that playlist in the upper right hand corner now, as well as linked in the description below. But with all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoy it, and let's start talking about these products. So the first product I want to talk about is the Colourpop Hyaluronic Acid Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer. This is what it looks like. It's a $14 tinted moisturizer from Colourpop, which is a pretty affordable brand. They're carried at Ulta, a lot of their products. I know this one is as well. So you can get it definitely a lot of different places, but this is a oil-free hydrating tinted moisturizer. And what I like about this one is it promotes hydration through ingredients that I really like, specifically hyaluronic acid. It also has coconut water in there. And really the idea of this one is that it's a very light coverage type of tinted moisturizer, so it's not going to really cover a ton of your blemishes or anything like that. It's really more about just evening out your complexion and your skin tone by just kind of giving it an overall, similar shade. And then I also think it does a good job of adding this healthy kind of glow to the skin. I think that can be really pretty, and that's what I would say is the best part about the product that really makes it stand out. If you're someone who's looking for just a really healthy, dewy look to the skin, this would definitely be the one I would go for out of all the ones that I'm mentioning today, just because of that gorgeous glow that it gives to the skin while still evening everything out. Now, if you're looking for higher coverage, I've got you later on, but that's what I love about this one. Moving on to another hydrating product, this one is the Wet n Wild Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator Tinted Skin Veil. It's a $6 tinted hydrator. It's an oil-free product, and this product works to promote hydration in the skin with ingredients like hyaluronic acid, vegan squalane. Those are both ingredients that my dry skin adores, and I find that, it's just more of a comfortable type product for me on my skin due to not only those hydrating elements, but also it feels so incredibly lightweight on the skin. It does not feel like you added another coat of product when you apply it or even throughout the day. It just kind of feels like second skin, hardly there, which I just adore, especially during, really hot days, in the South especially. I don't know where you guys live, but when I tell you, not having another layer of product, feeling that feeling on my skin is just so incredibly nice, which is why I really like this one. It's similar in kind of the way that it performs to the Colourpop one, in that it's not as much about, providing coverage, covering those blemishes. It's more just kind of about giving this cohesive, complexion to your skin. It's kind of about more evening out your skin tone, and that can be very nice. And if you, want to cover those blemishes, you can go in after with concealer or some other type of product. But with this, it is definitely more of a buildable type product, except for the fact that you really do have to work on building it up, and you can't get, and I'll mention some that you can get a pretty close to, medium to full coverage type look. This one's definitely, highest as you're gonna get is medium coverage, but it definitely, when you initially apply it, is more of a lighter coverage. So if you want more, you can build it up, but it may just take a little bit of time. So in this video, I did want to mention at least one product that had that kind of higher coverage element to it. This is one that is not my favorite, higher coverage or full coverage foundation by any means, and it definitely falls in the category of foundation, but I do think you can get a pretty skin light look, and it has that hydrating element that I've kind of talked about so far. The comfort, it's just very lightweight and feels nice on the skin, so that's why I wanted to mention it. And I do want to say this is one that definitely took me a while to figure out how to use and really enjoy. So with that being said, this is the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Foundation. Here's what it looks like. It's $36, and I do just want to go ahead and say, if you have oily skin, I don't really think this is going to work for you, just because some of the components in this product I just don't think would mesh well with those oilier skin types. If you have normal to dry skin, I think this could work for you pretty nicely, especially if you're looking for a product that kind of is the sweet spot between that super high coverage, full glam foundation look and, just basically no makeup look, if that makes sense. This one's kind of a nice in between because it gives that second skin-like look while still giving coverage. So if you have, you know, blemishes that you want to cover, but you just don't want to look like a cake face, I kind of feel like this is a really good go-to. I think it's very similar to, I'll put a picture of it on the screen, the Colourpop Pretty Fresh foundation, which I think I do like that one a little bit more, but it doesn't feel quite as lightweight or hydrating as this one. So if that's what you're really looking for, then I think this might be the product that you want to try out. The finish is very natural. You can build it up to get, you know, anywhere from, you know, medium to higher coverage. I think when you initially apply it, if you did just like one coat, you could sheer it out to get kind of that more light to medium coverage, but if you wanted to build it up, you can get more of that higher level of coverage. So this next product, I have officially gotten every last little drop out of it. I mean, I squeezed everything out of this little container, so I'm just going to insert a picture on the screen because the packaging's looking a little gnarly, but this is the NYX Bare With Me Tinted Skin Veil. It is a $13, just a tinted hydrating cream for the skin. It's going to have anywhere from light to medium coverage. Again, this is another one that I do think is pretty buildable, so if you wanted to get more, you know, coverage, I think you could get basically to medium, but not much more coverage than that. The main element with this one is going to be evening out the skin tone and just like the way your overall complexion looks. It just feels so comfortable and breathable on the skin. I mean, this one is like, I feel like if I were to choose between this one and the Wet n Wild one, I think I would have to choose with this next one just because I feel like it overall does a better job of evening out my complexion. I can get a little more coverage if I want. It wears really nicely throughout the day. And again, just, it doesn't feel quite as like not there, but it still feels so incredibly comfortable and just nice on the skin where I'm not having to really worry about it. This is one that the application is really easy. You can build it up really quickly. It's just one that I think works really nice. I just don't know. I feel like I used it up kind of quickly. Maybe that's because I was trying to, you know, get a little bit higher coverage with this, you know, product, whereas maybe I could have just gone in with like a lighter hand with it, but I am totally fine with that. It's not, you know, the most expensive tinted type product on the market, so I'm willing to, you know, repurchase it more frequently if that's what's needed. The next product is one I have pretty high hopes for, and to be honest, it kind of just fell flat for me. I don't really know how many people would get enjoyment out of this one either. It's the NEUTROGENA Healthy Skin Glow Sheers Tinted Moisturizer, and this is one that I believe is $11. I got mine at Target. I'm sure there's a couple other different retailers that will carry it. This is one that is a like sheer to light coverage foundation, you know, base type product. It's definitely like a tinted moisturizer, not a foundation, but it's one that is not going to give you too much coverage. It's really more about, you know, evening out complexion, and it does that. It has a little bit of sunscreen in it, and it's, I don't know. The thing with this product that I really didn't enjoy is that I applied it, and even though it wasn't giving me a lot of coverage, I was okay with it. It was evening out my complexion. It was nice. And then within like 30 minutes, I felt like it just heavily oxidized. So, you know, while it was giving this kind of initially light coverage, nice cohesion to my face, and, you know, a natural finish and all of that, it was basically counteracted when, you know, just a little while later, it was like giving kind of the reverse effect. It was making my skin, you know, the complexion of my skin look completely different than it normally does. It wasn't giving any coverage either, so it just kind of looked completely unnatural without really doing any benefits for my skin, like covering my blemishes or anything like that. So it's one that if you're looking for something that's just going to even out your complexion, I don't really feel like this would be best for anyone. You know, I don't think it really gives much of a glowy element to the skin either. So I would say that if you're looking for a product similar to this, the two that I would go for is the one from NYX and the one from Wet n Wild. So the next product I want to talk about is one from Glossier. And this one I've actually repurchased. I have conflicting views on it. The packaging is a little gnarly because you know, I use it up, I bring it with me when I travel. It used to be one of my go-tos. I don't really think it is anymore, but we'll get into that in a second. It's the Glossier Perfecting Skin Tint. This one is $26 and is really just a skin tint with incredibly sheer coverage, like verging on like no coverage at all. It doesn't give much color to the skin. It gives a little bit and evens out your complexion, which I do appreciate. It kind of just, in a unique way, without really adding much color, much, you know, coverage. It just kind of makes everything look more put together than it did prior to applying the product, but it still doesn't do a ton. And for $26, I've kind of come to the realization that, like, okay, sure, I have not yet to find a product with, you know, this low amount of coverage that still I feel like is doing something. But, you know, the NYX one I love, it has more of a lighter coverage look than this one. It has a little bit more coverage, same with the Wet n Wild one. But for half the price, or less, I'm willing to, you know, pay that and, you know, shear it out a little bit more if possible and, you know, work with it a little bit more. But this one is one that I really like for on the go. It was nice when I wanted just something quick and easy to apply that I didn't have to think about too much. I mean, with like just a little bit of concealer under the eyes, or if I did happen to have a blemish that I needed to cover, or if my skin, really I loved it when my skin was having one of those really good days, but I think that could have just done because my skin didn't have any blemishes on it that day, and that's the reason that I was loving my makeup so much. I don't know how much it really had to do with this specific product, so it's one that if you want to try it, go ahead. I don't think you will be disappointed, even though, you know, there are certain, you know, elements to it that I just feel like aren't worth that price tag, but if you're willing to pay it, I don't think you'd be upset. It's really breathable, it feels nice on the skin, but you know, I think there's probably better out there. So on this next product, my opinions aren't nearly as wishy-washy as they were on that one from Glossier. This one I have pretty definitive thoughts on, and to be completely honest, on like online, you know, Sephora's website, on YouTube, Instagram, whatever, I feel like the reviews I see are pretty mixed. People either really enjoy it or they don't. But in real life, I've met like at least 2 or 3 people who have also tried this product and they didn't like it. So I know I'm not alone. This is the Bareminerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream. This one is, what, $33, and this is just kind of one of those tinted moisturizer products with light to medium coverage. I think you can build it up if you want to. However, that might be kind of difficult because this product, it pills and beads up on the skin. Like, you know, they say to you, like, use your fingers, and I think that's because you really have to rub and blend this in. Like, it takes a good bit of work, and I think it's because it's formulated more like a sunscreen. Like, it does have SPF 30, which really doesn't make a ton of sense because I have products that I really enjoy that have higher SPF in them, and or, you know, this amount of SPF, and that's not an issue. Pilling isn't an issue, but in some of the reviews I saw the same thing. There's kind of these beads, and you really have to work it into the skin. And for me, I mean, at $33, what? I think this is like almost the most expensive product that I'm talking about. Definitely of the tinted moisturizers, the most expensive one I'm mentioning. And for the options, like there being so many different options, I just don't think, not to be rude, but I don't think it's really acceptable. Like, I would never pay this much for this product again. I don't even think I'd pay like one of the drugstore prices for this product. I just don't think it was good, and I think, you know, there's so many better ones out there. So unless you've tried it and you know that you love it, I think I'd just skip over it. Alright guys, that is about it for today's video. If you enjoyed, definitely be sure, give it a thumbs up. It really does help me and my channel out, and it helps me to know what type of content I should do in the future. I'd love to hear in the comments down below what these type of products, skin tints you have been enjoying, or anything else you want to share. I'd love to hear from all of you in the comments below. If you're new here and you haven't already subscribed, I'd really appreciate if you would do so before you go. And if you want to be notified for future posted uploads, then you can hit that notification bell that is next to the subscribe button. But thank you all so much for being here. It really does mean so much to me, and just thank you so much for taking the time to support my channel and just all the things. Thank you. I hope that you all are doing well, and I hope you have a great couple of days until my next video is posted, and I will see you when it is. Bye!